Hey, welcome back. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. Welcome to High Prairie Acres. We're up here for a couple days taking care of some business. And behind me is a above ground pool. It's 4 foot high, 24, 25 feet across. I did the math one time, how much water that held. It held a lot. We don't use it for a pool. We use it for a pond. I've got my house right here. The water drains off the gutters and then it comes down through this pipe and then into the pool. And we used to have ducks out here, and the ducks would swim in it, and it has really fertilizer rich water. And we want to get like a solar pump like they put in people's backyards to keep like the little mini waterfalls going. And when we want to use that solar pump, normally we turn this yard right here in the garden to pump like nutrient rich water in there. And one of the problems was though that we were filling, this was getting lots of mosquitoes in it, lots of mosquito larvae, and it was a problem waiting to happen. And so we bought these little feeder goldfish. You get like 10 or 15 of them for $1 or $2, and we put them in there 3 years ago. This thing freezes probably 4 or 5, well, it's only 4 feet deep. Probably freezes 2 or 3 feet deep. It gets solidly frozen in the wintertime. And there was actually ice on here the other day when we came up here. And it's melted since, and the fish are swimming around in there. I probably can't show them to you right now, but they swim around there. And they're getting to be about 6 inches long or so. They're goldfish. And once they get big, I'm going to try and eat one. They have fins and scales, so there you go. So, the reason I'm out here, though, is to tell you this. A lot of people on YouTube will never show you any faults, right? They don't want to do that. They want to be supermen and women. But I'm going to show you because I like learning from other people's mistakes better than my own, right? And so, if I make a mistake every now and then, I'll let you know about it, and then maybe you can learn and go and do not likewise. All right, so we had a video the other day about burning off our pasture, and we did so, and I burned out to about here, and then I stopped because I didn't want to get too close over there. I don't own that land back there, and I couldn't control it. My hoses wouldn't reach there. The wind was picking up, and so I stopped burning, and I put out the fire. And I went around with my hose and I went all along the edges of the fire and I put it all out and I put out all the little smoldering embers. And it was a long day of burning. It was a lot of work. And at the end of the day, we burned this part of it right here in front of this house. And initially my compost pile caught on fire. Well, I put it out. And then I'm out here doing stuff and I see smoke coming out of it again. So I just poured the water on, right? Lots of water, no more smoke. It's out. I finally finished up. I went upstairs, took a shower, got out of the shower, wanted to take a nap, laid down. I was taking a nap. Somebody's banging on my doors about an hour later. And I have neighbors that live, back there. I showed you them in the other video. They're about a quarter mile away. And what had happened was my compost pile caught fire while I was upstairs sleeping. And then it caught the fence on fire. It was right here in the corner of my fence, and it's no longer there. The fence caught on fire. I hadn't burned this grass right here, and so this grass went up, and it went woof back by the, we call it a barn. It's a garage. It's full of stuff. And it burned, and when I came out of my house, there was fire on 3 sides of that building going. We have a woodshed right back here. The corner of it caught on fire. It's about half full of firewood. And so, praise Yah, I had good neighbors that came over and we started fighting it, and I immediately called 911. It's like, man, this thing is getting away from us. It went into my neighbor's field, but it caught my barn on fire. We were minutes away from losing it. A fire truck, a brush truck rolled in, and I was on a fire department for 10 years, so it's kind of professionally embarrassing, but it's also, I know how to direct traffic. And so we brought it down here, and the corner of my barn caught on fire. And we had to rip the siding off the walls and put the fire. You got to get to the fire. If you don't, it'll smolder up in there and then it's gone. And it's close enough to the house it would endanger the house. And so we ripped the siding off. So guess what Pastor Joe got to do today? I was thinking I'd do things like, tidy up around High Prairie Acres, maybe plant some long-term root crops because we're not spending a lot of time here anymore. And yeah, so Sister Kate and I and a neighbor got to work on that. That black tar paper that you see on the wall, That part of the wall was just rotting, water damage from long ago, and I've just put that over it to keep the seam. We're going to end up taking this addition and bringing it all the way across back here anyway. So I just had to do some work to let no more weather damage happen to the house. But yeah, look, burnt my neighbor's field. He came out, we talked today, he thanked me for burning his field because it really makes the grass nice, and he was afraid to do it because it was too close to my barn. And so we got that going on. So yeah, out means out. Out means cold and stirred. I know this. But people get in trouble when you do things that you ought to know better, right? And for whatever reason, laziness, tiredness, what's that phrase? Fatigue makes cowards of us all. There's a lot to that. When you get tired, sometimes you take shortcuts. I probably should have broken down the compost pile and really squirted it with water. Got out a pitchfork and tore it apart and done that. And I didn't because I was tired. I've been working all day. And so now I don't have a compost pile. It's burned, and I don't have a fence right there that now I have to fix also. And so, hey, learn from me, when you're burning, be real careful. And, I made sure it went out. I didn't want to burn where I didn't want it to get out of control. Okay, well, that's fine. Did you make sure your fire was out, Pastor Joe? I thought I did. You thought you did. Bad. Don't do that. All right. Hey, I'll see you out there. Shalom.